Welcome here for Punch Out Boxing. Delighted to be speaking to a veritable giant of a man in Scott Saward. How are you, Scott?
Yeah, really well. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Fight fans, most of us probably forgot about you. We last saw you, was it 5 years ago, 4 years ago? You ran into a certain Fabio Wardley, who's gone on to some very good things, possibly even great things to come from him. Yeah, where have you been? And tell us about this comeback.
Yeah, my last outing was with Fabio. Um, I took it last minute. I decided to stop boxing before then. But I took it last minute, fighter's fight. I thought it'd be my last hurrah, give it a go. No excuses, didn't come out on top on that one. But I'd already planned to stop boxing, give it a while, have a break from boxing, join the Fire Brigade. So I joined the London Fire Brigade, set my career up, got a mortgage, family, got married, etc. Set my life up. Um, Always kept my hand in boxing, trained, but I actually moved over to strongman. Done some strongman training, won a title, won a couple of shows. Um, Enjoyed my time in the fire brigade. Wanted to get back into boxing, but then COVID happened and put a kibosh on that for a while. So there was a few years, a couple of years there that kind of missed out, and I didn't think it was going to happen. Um, but then I was bumped into my trainer, Ernie Senior, who trains my cousin Ernie Junior, who's on the show as well. You'll be seeing him shortly. And he said, "Do you want to get back in there?" And I said, "Yes, I've always wanted to get back in there." Um, he gave me an opportunity to do it and training me, so I thought I'd jump back in. I'd seen what Fabio had gone on to achieve and other people who I was boxing around the same time as, and it just lit a fire up underneath me. Why I can be there, I can be doing that, I can be in that position.
And do you mind me asking, how old are you now?
I'm 30.
30. So this point, I keep labouring it. Modern heavyweights, cruiserweights peak later. So you can actually give it a real good run now.
Yeah, yeah, I believe so. I believe this is my time now. I feel like my age has helped me. If anything, I feel like that the time where I've matured as a person, as a man, I'm tougher, mentally tougher, physically tougher. My time in strongman, I feel a strong base. My body is strong. I just feel really good. I feel like my time now. I feel like a few things that were missing before I've got now, and I've got that good base. Where I've got my career and I've got the stable base on that side. I feel like it's given me the perfect opportunity to now really launch myself into it.
Mhm. So back on the top tier show, September the 2nd, going in against Bill Williams, one of the most reliable journeymen out there. So good fight to get back into. Um, has your management or promotional team, by the way, who are you signed with, and have they got a plan in mind for you?
Yeah, so I'm signed with Victor Smith Management. I'm really happy to be on top tier. I know that Victor Smith works close with Johnny Clark, and he's got a good few fighters on his show. It's a very good show, very professional show. Yeah, I believe he's got a plan in place. I think we're going to be very active. Try and get a good few fights in between now and this time next year. Start working my way up.
Yeah, yeah, two great guys there. They'll definitely guide your career properly. I mean, how do you assess the UK heavyweight scene? I was just talking to Murphy Turner there. It's probably the best it's ever been. Is that part of the reason why you want to get back into the mix?
Yeah, definitely. So in my lifetime, this is the best that I've seen it. This is it's thriving. You've got so much talent coming through, so much talent that's already up there. You've got people on low level, people mid level, people on the way up there like Joe Joyce that are just on that cusp, and then you've got people obviously you've got Fury, you've got AJ, you've got the UK scene heavyweight is just killing it across the world. And I want to get in there and mix it.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are you based, by the way?
So I live over in Bexley Heath. We do quite a bit of training over in Essex Kickboxing Academy. We travel to train, so we're all over the place really.
Tell me, who are the guys that you've had sparring sessions with?
Sparring sessions, I've had a lot of sparring sessions, especially through the years. I've sparred with a lot of people. Currently, been doing sparring with the Ron Football with Johnny Fisher. It's been very good. He's a very talented guy. He's a really nice guy as well. Um, very good competitive sparring, and good to have a chat with him as well after. He's a very intelligent guy as well. Very nice, very good to be around a camp like that with Mark Tibbs. Um, Cousin Ernie's been up sparring as well with some of his boys, so it's good.
Yeah, Johnny, of course, got that big fight coming up. Is it mid-August? A couple of weeks from now, isn't it? Yeah,
12th of August, yeah.
yeah. Southern area title. I mean, that sort of route you think you might go for?
I would like to. I think people overlook things like the Southern Era title, things like that sometimes, but I think it's very prestigious. It's a very good achievement in boxing. Not a lot of people do it, but um, it's up to my management what route we go. But I'd love to have Southern Era title, English title over my shoulder. I think they're overlooked. I think it's a big part of the heritage of British boxing.
Absolutely, and as you said, because the heavyweight scene is so thriving, sometimes you find even those area titles, the English title, certainly the British title, you sometimes get world level guys competing for it.
Yeah, definitely. You've only got to look at the Johnny Fisher fight. It's Fisher and Armstrong. It's very good fight. Um, I think as you say, there's a lot of talent in those fights. Sometimes I think you could have a Southern Era fight that'd be just as people would be just as happy watching for a British style fight. You can have wars over that belt. So as I say, it's very prestigious.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how tall are you exactly?
6'9".
So you are, yeah, a genuine modern day super heavyweight. So stylistically, what can we expect from you? You jab and move, do you brawl, do you want to mix it up?
Yeah, mix it up style. I definitely I feel I move very well for a man of my size. I'm not just plodding around. I like to mix it up. I like to mix up my punches. I'm not going to go out there being rough boy, plod and yeah. I'm like to showcase that on the second.
Wonder, have you had to do a lot of modifications to your body composition since you did the strongman training? Because presumably you bulked up a lot, need to have lost a lot of that.
Yeah, massively. So when I started boxing again with Bernie on, I think it was early January, I was coming in weighing at 156 kilos. It was 24 and a half stone. Um, I was obviously getting as big and strong as physically possible. A lot of that has had to come off. I nearly dropped 3 stone already to come down, but whilst maintaining my strength. So I've maintained over 90% of my strength, which is key, really. So I've not done it in a poor way. I've not dropped it too quickly. But yeah, it's a very different sport um, altogether. So even though strongman has elements of cardiovascular fitness in it, because you've got to pick stuff up and move, you've got to rep with it. It's a lot different. So we've had to train it. But Ernie Senior is master trainer. He's great at peaking people. So he gave me a good base of training to get to the point where I could then start a fight camp ready to peak. So yeah, so I'm feeling great, feeling strong still. Um, not quite as strong as I was, but feeling very strong. A lot stronger than I was before, which I think is helping a lot.
And have you seen the effects of that strength in your sparring, say with someone like Johnny Fisher, who himself is a really strong heavyweight?
Yes, I have. I definitely feel it. I feel heavier than I was before, but in a good way. I feel like that weight, and I can use my strength to my advantage. I can feel it. It's a lot different. I feel more solid now. I feel more of a presence in the ring. But yeah, Johnny's very strong guy, as they call him the Bull for a reason. But yes, I think it's definitely helped.
Fantastic. I mean, just on yourself, are you still in the fire brigade?
I am indeed, yeah, still fully active in the fire brigade. Looking to develop my career still. So yeah, so juggling that can be a bit tricky at times, but I'm very lucky with my training. Very flexible with me because obviously my shift I do 2 days, 2 nights, then I have my time off. So we can't train at the same times every week, which can make things a bit difficult. But we get it done. We just work around it. It doesn't matter. We know that the work's got to be done. It's the hardest game in the world. Boxing's the hardest game, hardest sport in the world. We don't play it, so we've got to get the work in. If I'm tired, we've been up all night. It's got to be done.
I always tell the fans this: it ain't all glamorous like how Mayweather and Galeno show at this level. You guys are a different breed, going to work and then training. Do you have any sponsors on board, or you just funding yourself?
No, I've got some good sponsors. So I'm sponsored by Wow Hydrate. You can see from the hat and the drink. Yeah, they've helped out a lot with kit, supporting me and giving me drinks, etc. Also sponsored by Fetch Fire and Security, um, good Kent-based security firm, very professional. They've helped me a lot, and also I'll be representing the firefighters charity. Not sponsored by them, but I'll be trying to raise awareness for them. They'll be on my fight kit, so yeah, give them a quick mention. They do great work for firefighters, both serving and retired.
Absolutely, one of those essential, unforgiving jobs, bit like boxing, but you guys putting yourselves on the line to save those of us who need it. So yeah, definitely get behind that. Um, and have you got much of a sort of fan base amongst the fire service?
Yeah, I would say so. You'll see quite a few firefighters turn out to the show. It'll be quite good. Some of them will obviously be on shift, so they'll be watching on the TV. But yeah, I would say I've got quite good support through the fire brigade, and because I'm not exactly easy to miss. Everyone knows me in the brigade anyway. So yeah, so it'd be good to get them behind the nets. Traditionally, there's a big boxing following in the fire brigade. They used to have they've got their own amateur club. Um, they used to have the fights between the fire brigade and the police service. So yeah, there's a big boxing history in the brigade. So yeah, I think I've got a decent fan base there.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, get the whole service behind you. Could definitely build yourself quite a name. I mean, can I ask you about some of the fights on the heavyweight scene? Don't know if you follow it as a fan. Obviously, there's your old opponent, Fabio. The proposed talk is he's going to fight Fraser Clark.
This one was I thought he's been put forward for David Adelaide. Is what I'd heard the most recent one. I think it's a great fight. I think that is a great fight. I think there's so many great domestic fights at the minute. That's the thing with the UK scene at the minute. Those kind of fights used to have to wait until those up to world level, European level. Now they're happening. They're happening at local level, and it's great. The UK heavyweight scene is thriving. But yeah, Wardley Adelaide would be a great fight to see.
Who do you fancy in that one?
Currently, I would take Wardley, but Adelaide is a big heavy hitter as well. He's a big guy, he's a strong guy, he's young. So it's a toss up, but I would take Wardley on experience.
And it'd be good for you if he wins, 'cause it makes you look better. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. I'm not, as I say, former opponent. I'd love the chance to get in there with him again, but I've got to focus on my journey and work my way up to that. Because whilst I've been away, they've been grafting. I need to catch up. So
Absolutely. What about Johnny? His fight with Dirty Harry, as he calls himself. You confident your spar mate will do the goods?
yeah, I think he will. He's looking great in camp. Fisher is. He's looking in shape. He's very dedicated. He's very focused. He's been looking great in sparring. Um, I think Armstrong is a tough fighter, very tough. Um, but I think Fisher might just be a bit too much.
What about the big star, of course, AJ and White? Something of a crossroads fight. Obviously, it's a rematch. What, 6 years in the making, or 7 years? I can't remember. But is it a crossroads fight? How do you assess both fighters at this point in their career? Both not in the best places they've been, and can the winners get back into the world mix?
Yeah, the winner will be up there in the world mix. The winner will be catapulting themselves straight back in there. And it's interesting because you say not on their best places, but I think sometimes that can be the place they need. They're both going to be super motivated. They're going to be wanting this fight. That obviously they've got history. They want to fight each other anyway, but both got points to prove. I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm backing Dillian White. I like Dillian White. Who's sparred with him quite a lot. I've been out with him to Portugal. Really nice guy. Really nice guy. He's always got time for us. So I'm backing Dillian White.
Good choice. I mean, I'm personally torn because I, as a kid, went to Finchley Boxing Club, but I work in Brixton, just round the corner from where Dillian from, so it's agonising. But hey, what about the world scene? Of course, our own Daniel Dubois. At the end of the month, he's going over to Poland to fight Usyk. Is it mission possible?
No, it's not impossible. I also done a lot of sparring with Dan Dubois back at Peacocks when I was boxing before. The man has got the power. People always talk about his power, but he's different. It's a different kind of power. His jab is like a regular heavyweight's right hand. Very, very strong. And with that kind of power, it's never mission impossible. I mean, he's got to overcome a lot of odds. He's not the favourite. He's going into someone else's back garden. But he is young, he is fit, he's dedicated, he's very strong. One punch from him, it changes it. So I'm backing him. I want Dubois to win. It's not definitely not mission impossible.
Yeah, it'd be great for British boxing if you could bring those belts home.
It would be amazing. It'd be great, and I really want to see him do it.
What do you make of Fury's, I guess you could call it a novelty fight against Francis Ngannou? Get hardcore fans up in arms, but I guess it's what it is, a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. From as a boxing fan, it's frustrating because it's not the fight we want to see. But at the same time, I totally understand it. So you got Fury, who ideally should be taken on Usyk. Very difficult fight, very tough fight. Potentially could lose. I fancy Fury in that fight personally, but it's a tough fight. Should he be putting all that on the line and then because afterwards he's not really going to get the same money to fight an Ngannou type fight. So if someone offers him X amount of millions to do it now, why not? So I kind of get it, but also I'm absolutely chuffed for Francis Ngannou. I think he was a great fighter in MMA. He was a great representative of the sport. He was trying to get as much as possible for fighters, etc. In the UFC. Obviously, he left the UFC, but he was the champion, and most people had written him off and said, "Oh, he doesn't want to fight Jones." Blah blah blah. Now he's going to make life-changing money in something that no one would ever thought. So I think good luck to him. So I think get the fight done. It's a bit of fun. It's great for Francis Ngannou. It's a load of wages for Fury, and then get back to boxing.
Yeah, indeed. Let's hope Fury does get back to the boxing. We need to see more of him.
Yes. Yeah, I think he could do with being a bit more active, but when you get those sort of money flying about, it's not really the incentive to be active, is it?
Nah, indeed. So, just on yourself then, if you were to say, if I was to ask you where do you want to be a year from now, and maybe tell me a dream that you have for what you'll achieve by the time you've retired.
Yeah, so a year from now, I want to have another 4 or 5 fights under my belt and iron up the Southern Area title, or whichever path my managers want to go. But Southern Area title would be great for this time next year. Ultimate dream, same as all boxers' dream. World champion, fighting in America, either Madison Square Garden or over in Vegas. Be great.
All right, yeah, that's the sort of dreams I love to love to hear and watch. So, Scott, absolute pleasure meeting you for the first time. Yeah, we really hope we can follow your career onto the heights, and we'll see you in September.
Will indeed. Thank you very much.